folks, Casey LaCourse here with a clip to let you know what's going to be happening on Hearts of the West coming up in the next week. All right, I'm going to have another drawing for a fabulous hardcover book by Mr. John Pelham. This is it right here, Old Friends, Fresh Memories. This is a great poetry book, great Western book. And I'm going to read you a couple of quick poems out of it. And if you want in the drawing, go to Hearts of the West site, in it to win it, leave me a message. Now, John Pelham, he lives in Granbury, Texas, and he grew up farming. And he said he always wanted to be a cowboy, but writing poetry is as close as he could get to it. And I think he's gotten pretty darn close. So let's just start off with one of his poems. And this is titled Daddy's Boot Jack by John Pelham. Over in the corner of our bedroom, there's an important piece of my history, made of wood, not pretty or expensive, but very important and meaningful to me. It's just an old cypress boot jack, not something to write home about, not very useful to most anyone else, something most homes do well without. But to me, an important part of who I am and whence I came, a source of pride of my rural roots and the worth of my daddy's name. You see, Daddy wore boots a lot. Sometimes they fit a bit too tight. He needed help in getting them off, and the old jack did the job just right. I'll describe what a boot jack is for those of you who don't know. You see, it's a wedge-shaped device with a U-shaped notch to fit a boot heel, just so. You just step up on the jack and slip your heel in the notch, pull up briskly, off comes the boot. No one has to help you, they just watch. Just as I watched my dad so many years ago as a youth, thinking someday I'll do the same, getting out of my boots. So now I use it, just like him. Makes me nostalgic when I do. Don't know who'll get it though, when my time with it is through. Neither of my sons wear boots. That'll end up with my generation. I just hope Daddy's boot jack doesn't end up as a charity donation, 'cause it needs to be in a family with ties back to my dad. Thinking it might go somewhere sure does make me kind of sad. If it goes somewhere else, I hope a family member will get it back. It just don't seem right for someone else to be using Daddy's boot jack. Wow, Mr. Pelham, that's a good one. That is a good one. I love that. Okay, now thank you for listening to that, and we'll get on with the showcase.
Here's a song I wrote a couple of years ago after spending a couple of weeks doing backcountry mountain riding with an outfit called Trail Riders of the Canadian Rockies down in southwestern Alberta. The song is called Riding. I want to ride in my saddle. I'm going to ride in my saddle. Riding in my saddle, heading across the plains. See the foothills rising, heading toward the Rockies. I want to ride in my saddle, living up my finest days. The Rockies lay before me, the mountains are in front of me. Those peaks stand up ahead of me, majestic as they shine. The paths will get rugged, good things don't come easy. I want to ride in my saddle, living up my finest days. The trail is sharp and winding, my trail is sharp and winding. This trail is sharp and winding, heading up to the sky. On a high mountain meadow, peace beyond understanding. I want to ride in my saddle, living up my finest days. I dream my life as act my life as a cowboy, still dream my life as a cowboy, though it never was my way. I live my life like I am one, the way it is inside me. I ride in my saddle, living up my finest days. I ride in my saddle, living up my finest days.
I want to thank Casey for inviting me to be on this showcase with her. All my poetry is original. I'm from north central Nebraska up here in the sand hills where at present time it's green. We've gotten a little rain. Like I say, my poems are all originals, and sometimes the ones that are the more the truth or the ones people like. This one seems like it covers a lot of different people understanding how it come about. I was in the boss's pickup. He's a 67 Ford. Now there ain't much could stop us short of meeting with the Lord. But then I see this coyote standing over by the ditch. My eyes just clouded over and my brain began to twitch. I stuck my foot through the firewall, took a that carburetor with my toes. That's when that coyote headed west where the little blue stem grows. Well, it's off across the pasture, gonna catch this ball of hair. That big V8 just roared to life, and I smirked. I don't play fair. Then that stupid coyote turned, went through an open gate. I just saw it with a big old grin. He sealed his sudden fate. So I punched her down, I let her roar, and I grabbed another gear. That coyote headed over the knob, his tail tucked down in fear. But then that coyote disappeared, and he showed up again. And I still know when he looked at me, he was wearing a big old grin. 'Cause that's when I seen the forgotten road, and it was coming fast. I had this realization that my fun just couldn't last. Well, I must have hit that dirty road at 40 mile an hour. That pickup didn't sprout no wings. I had no flying power. But when we lit, it jarred my teeth. I heard this great big pop. That's when I seen them steel fence posts go flying over the top. Well, I just figured it hit so hard that I bounced out of gear, but when I found that was not the case, I had a greater fear. So I climbed out to take a look to see what I should do. That's when I found the whole front end was busted, clean in two. Well, I was beating my head on the pickup hood when I seen that coyote right over there. And I'm sure I heard him smirk and say, "You know, I don't play fair." Have fun, folks. Catch some coyotes and enjoy the rain.
Howdy, it's Kerry Grombacher. I'm coming to you from Unionville, Missouri, where I'm on the road for a concert at the Bixler 108 with Aspen Black and Alice Black. It's a pleasure to be here this evening on Casey LaCourse's Hearts of the West showcase. I want to thank her very much for inviting me in, and thank all the other great artists who have been part of this showcase and who are on this evening as well. This tune I'm going to do for you is called When the Bullet Left the Gun. It's from my new CD, which is called Range of the Buffalo. The tune came to me, I've been thinking a lot about Billy the Kid over the years. I first went to Lincoln County when I was 10 years old, my first trip to New Mexico out of Kansas, where I lived at the time, and was fascinated, of course. And then for a long time as a student of Western history, I kind of followed the Billy the Kid saga, what was known, what was unknown about him. And for a long time, there was only one photograph of Billy the Kid that was authenticated. Long, lanky guy, striped sweater, holding a rifle, the scowly face. That was Billy the Kid, the only one we knew. And then about 5 years ago, a new photograph emerged. It was authenticated as well, using a variety of techniques. And in this picture, Billy the Kid, notorious gunslinger in the Lincoln County Wars, is holding a croquet mallet. And it occurred to me that we know so little about Billy the Kid's actual life, and we know nothing whatsoever about the night he died. They say the first kill is the hardest one of all, but the first bite's all it took for Adam's fall. I know now that my tale had not begun until the moment when the bullet left the gun. No, this is not the way my story would be told. This is not the way my life was to unfold. I'd not thought to live life on the run until the moment when the bullet left the gun. With the fingers twitched, the world just blew apart in the stillness between the beats of my heart. I turned my face from the blinding light, felt my soul drift toward the night. I didn't hear his boot heels shuffle on the floor, didn't hear him open up the bedroom door. I'd not lived my life in fear of anyone until the moment when the bullet left the gun. No, this is not the way my life was gonna end. I was always looking around that next bend. Thought I'd rise and greet the morning sun until the moment when the bullet left the gun. With the fingers twitched, the world just blew apart in the stillness between the beats of my heart. I turned my face from the blinding light and felt my soul drift toward the night. In my sleep I dreamt I saw Orion's belt and a shooting star where penitentes knelt. I'd never seen a constellation come undone until the moment when the bullet left the gun. I didn't know that I was drawing my last breath, didn't know that I was dreaming my own death. I didn't know the web of life had come unspun until the moment when the bullet left the gun. Thank you all very much for being here this evening. Thanks.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Indian, Dougie Hall, professional buck and horse rider and professional buck and horse raiser. Today I'd like to talk to you guys about heartbreak. One day I was out helping my Uncle Mouse gather horses when out of the blue we find one of his best buck and horse colts laying there dead. No idea how it happened. So I'm standing there looking at this horse crying, and my Uncle Mouse rides up and says, "What you crying for?" I said, "Well, that was a really good horse." And he said, "My boy, when your favorite horse dies, it's kind of like a woman leaving you. What you gonna do, lay there and die with it? Go run in another one, because dead horses don't buck." Anyway, I suggest you heal first before you run in another one. Love you guys. God bless. Have a great day.